the rain. Now, Kartel is appealing the life sentence imposed on him in 2014 for the murder of Clive Lizard Williams. Sean Campbell, Andre St. John, and Kahira Jones were also convicted for the murder. There were several issues raised today by the lawyers representing the appellants, particularly by the lawyer representing Vybz Kartel. Issues like whether there should be a retrial and where was Kartel when Clive Lizard Williams was killed. Vybz Kartel's lawyer, Valerie Robertson, today wrapped up her submissions before the Court of Appeal. During the trial in 2014, it was argued that the prosecution's key witness, Cho, went to Palmer's house on the night Lizard was killed. It was further argued that when Cho arrived at the premises at Swallowfield Avenue in St. Andrew, Kartel's dog went after him, and Kartel had to intervene and was bitten by his own dog. Cho said he assisted Kartel to Andrews Memorial Hospital, where he was treated. Today, Mrs. Nita Robertson told the court that hospital records, cell site evidence, and Cho's timeline are very different. In court in 2014, the trial judge asked the prosecution's main witness, "At about what time you got to the hospital?" The witness responds, "About 9 p.m., about that time." The judge then asked, "And about how long you stayed there?" The witness responded, "About half an hour, 20 minutes. It's alleged that Clive Lizard Williams was killed around 8 p.m. on August 16, 2011. Mrs. Nita Robertson told the court that there is a discrepancy.
The evidence of the police officer is that the cell site demonstrated that Mr. Palmer was at Havendale at 7:52, but the hospital records show that he was at Andrews Memorial Hospital at 7:48. So he could not be, the time span is too narrow for him to have been literally in these two places at one time.
She argued that it calls into question a number of things, like the credibility of the prosecution's main witness, as well as the veracity of cell tower information that was used during Kartel's murder trial. The issue of a retrial also came up today. Kartel's lawyer urged the court to quash the conviction and not to order a new trial. She pointed to what she called the overwhelming number of deficiencies raised about the trial, like prosecutorial misconduct, breaches of the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedom, inclusion of inadmissible evidence, and a rush to justice.
Oh, we are saying that it's so bad. It's so bad that you ought not to give the prosecution an opportunity to fix those things that have gone bad already.
Kartel's lawyers also took issue with police statements and the media reports during his murder trial and how the matter was dealt with by the trial judge. In February 2014, defense lawyers had raised concerns about a statement released by the police's communications unit, which was carried by the media, referring to the attempted bombing of a policeman's house. That release said that the policeman is a witness in a high-profile case now before the courts. Mrs. Nita Robertson said because this information was given to the media by senior police and given their position in society, was likely to have far-reaching prejudicial effect than an article written by someone outside of the police force. She said the trial judge dealt with the issue of adverse publicity in a very flippant way. Now, tomorrow we will hear more submissions from lawyers for the appellants. It's expected that the prosecution will respond to the arguments on Friday. Now, there was another issue that did not escape the attention of lawyers in the Kartel appeal. A letter in today's Gleaner written by former Court of Appeal President Seymour Panton. Mr. Panton said some lawyers or some attorneys at law have been misguidedly giving interviews and making speeches on radio and television and in the press in respect of the cases that are actually in progress before the courts of the land. He expressed surprise that the General Legal Counsel and the various bar associations have chosen to be asleep while the practice continues. Now, I should point out that Mr. Panton did not name any specific case. Mrs. Nita Robertson said she saw the article.
And I do believe that we are in different times. And I respect his lordship, but it's very difficult to gag me. Thank you. If it were a jury trial, I would understand, because the lay person will be easily influenced. But this is a bench of judges who are not going to listen to anything that we say. They have listened to our arguments, and it's the same arguments I'm producing to you. Nothing different, nothing added.
The General Legal Counsel itself issued a release on the matter, saying the practice is punishable as a contempt of court and can be dealt with appropriately by the court. Archie, back to you.
Thank you, Vashan. No more damning revelations this evening about the operations of Nesol, National Energy Solutions Limited, as the company's management bypassed the chief engineer in a number of critical decisions.
Nesol was again thrust into the spotlight as Parliament's Public Administration Appropriations Committee, PAAC, continued to probe matters at the state-run entity. TVJ's Andrea Chisholm reports.
Limited Nesol was brought in the spotlight since Lawrence Pommels, the company's operations engineer, was